Alright, so we got it all cooled off and laid out. I'm going to try to get you guys set up real good on the camera. I'll do a time lapse of me getting this thing cut out of here. Should be fairly easy. Like I said, I want to do all of this without forging anything except for the heat treat portion. But we're going to do as much of this as we can with a grinder and a file and hand sanding. So here we go. Okay, here we are. This is the layout for now, and it actually turned out pretty good. It's got just a little bit of a warp in it from getting hot, and it bowed up just a touch, which, that's alright. We'll take care of that. But anyway, I'm going to get my hands on the wire wheel real quick. You can do it with a hand file. You can take these super sharp edges off, just throw it back in the vise, or if you got a C-clamp, clamp it to your table. You can take those edges off with a file, and then I've got lots of detail work I gotta do here. So, I'm gonna get started. My recommendations for this part is to have a chainsaw tooth sharpening file, chainsaw chain sharpening file. I really like these little triangle files, and then obviously a flat file. You could probably do everything except that little groove there with your flat file. That's where the chainsaw file really comes in handy, is to make that groove right there round. So that's just my recommendations. You could do it without. We may even end up leaving this little part here. I may not even cut that off. I kind of like the length of it. So here we go. Okay, so I got it roughed in there. Doesn't look too bad. It's got just a little bit of a warp in it right here at the back. Kind of curves right there. Before I quench it, get real heat treat it, I guess, I might try to bend it straight, and no bigger than it is, I may just leave it alone. But yeah, no, all in all, so far it's turned out pretty good. I got it close-ish to the edge that I'm looking for here. I don't want to go all the way down to a point, obviously, because I'm going to get it really hot and quench it, and I don't want the edge of that blade to be there already. So we still got plenty of work to do here in a minute, so I'll get it hot, give it a quench, go from there. So after the quench, I have seen and found out that my file does still bite this. I don't know what what hardness this wouldn't bite into. I would assume it'd have to be fairly hard. But after the quench, this does still bite. Okay, so I take it back. The only file that I have that really bites on this knife is my big flat file here. It's basically the only one. My chainsaw file will bite a little bit, but it doesn't grab like this Nicholson flat file does that I've got. So I'm gonna get an edge put on this thing, and please don't laugh at my wrap, because this was literally the first one I have ever done, and we're gonna work on that because it's not beautiful, but it gets the job done. And there's probably close to 3 feet of cord there, so you know, if you could handle living without that cord wrap on your knife and needed to use some paracord there, you could do it. Also, I forgot to mention, I did notch grooves in the back of this handle for this knife so that it would not slip off. Tied my last knot, and then I burnt the ends on here so it stayed good and tight and won't pull through. So anyway, we'll get a good edge put on this in the next couple hours, sometime, hopefully. And I'll show you a finished product. Well, for being a first-time knife, it's not perfectly straight, but it's not bad. Left the hammer marks in there from straightening out the blade. Thought they looked kind of cool. So yeah, first shot, not too bad. Just from hitting it with the sander, it's actually got a pretty decent edge on it. But I'm gonna see if I can't get a little sharper. Anyway, I'll have to practice my wrap job because that doesn't look very good in my opinion. But anyway, there it is.